What's going on, guys? So I got another good one. So I'm over here with the old timers. So you got 40 years in the game, man. So what do you think that's different? You said something about the young generation. You said they don't have respect.
The young generation show no respect for the older cats. For the old
So the young generation be cursing out like the old timers and they curse out the old timers and being, disrespectful, man. Damn, you sound like that. There's a guy out there by the name of D. Shaw, man. You ever heard that motherfucker?
Man, if I ever hear him or see him, I'm gonna slap him.
You gonna slap the shit out of him?
I'm gonna slap the shit out of him.
Hey, man, you're an old timer, but what if I told you I was D. Shaw?
Huh?
What if I told you I was D. Shaw?
No, man, I'll slap the shit out of you.
I'm D. Shaw.
Don't leave me hanging like that.
I'm D. Shaw.
What up, world? J Tuck here. Welcome to Uncomfortable Conversations. So I got a video for y'all that y'all just watched. I just asked my mans if I could, do my podcast on this video. This is a good one because there are old heads, drivers that's been here 40 plus years, that been driving for 40 plus years, that feels like every young brother is out in this truck driving world is disrespectful and that they have no respect. So even though I'm 34, I consider myself young in the CDL world because I'm going on 3 years with my CDL. Although I've been driving trucks and been making deliveries for the last 18, 19 years, I still consider myself a young buck in this industry. And the only reason why is because I don't want to take away from the people that have put years and years into being a CDL holder. So that's first and foremost. Furthermore, I want to start by saying that for old heads that feel like respect is just supposed to be given to you, I grew up in an era and my dad raised me that respect is earned. It's not just given. And if you didn't do anything to earn my respect, therefore you won't be getting it. And it's vice versa. If I haven't done anything that earns the respect, then don't give it. If I am blatantly walk up to a young person or old person and be disrespectful, I don't expect them to be respectful to me. As you see in this video as well, the guy this is where T.I. said it best. You got an alligator mouth with a hummingbird ass. Your mouth writing checks that your ass can't cash. 145 in the matter of your weight class. Want to survive, you better scramble like eggs and break fast. You follow me, right? So in other words, this truck driver pulled up to this old head and asked him how he feel about this young dude. This man seemed like he didn't know who he was talking about. This man says, if I ever hear of him, and if I ever see him, I'll smack the shit out of him. Not knowing that the guy you said you was gonna smack the shit out of is right in front of you. So now how do you walk that back? Let's have an uncomfortable conversation on how do you walk that back. Because as a young head with a hot temper, if that man would have hopped up out that truck and beat the brakes off that old man, we would have been looking at another TikTok video as if he's in the wrong. Furthermore, for an old head to say that, now I'm not saying every old head can't fight, but if you've been in that truck behind this steering wheel dropping and hooking for the last 40 years, I can almost promise you these ain't as polished as the young man. And I could be wrong, but in my opinion, a young 27 to 34-year-old driver that's been driving only 2 to 3 years, that have been doing more active things with their hands out in the field for real, in a different field, I feel can probably beat up or whoop a guy that's been in the industry for 40 years. So that means that he got to be at least 60. Now, I know there's a difference between little boy strength and grown man strength. So like uncomfortably, I want to say that there are some old heads that still work out, that are still damn good in their 60s, and they will literally put somebody in the dirt. I just wanted to be the devil's advocate and say that, but majority of these young people will run circles around these people that have been overweight, eating all these nasty pilot food, and been sitting in this truck farting and sleeping for 40 years. What I also want to say, and I'm being the devil's advocate here, not saying that these young boys are right for being disrespectful, because there's a way to get your way, and there's another way that you can get your point across rather than being disrespectful to an old head. And also to the old heads, there's a way that you can be respectful to young heads too, knowing and realizing that they're just as naive, or that they're more naive than you are, because they're new and they don't really have skin in the game. So pet peeve of mine, when an old head is driving 2 miles an hour on a 1 lane and all the traffic is behind them, you're wrong. And that's disrespectful. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care why you're doing it. If you're on break and you're not trying to activate your Garmin to put you back on duty, I don't care. That's rude and that's inconsiderate. That, for me, will get you cussed out. Old head, new head, I don't care how young you are, we can squabble up at any time. And that is something that I'm trying to get better at, because like, regular road rage is bad, but like being a truck driver and having beef and smoke with other truck drivers is even worse. What I also want to say, these old heads out here, the old heads that are just pulling into different driveways, or they'll pull out of a dock, and you know how we got to close our doors and there's ample enough space to keep pulling over to the right hand side or to the shoulder so you can close your doors. Why are you pulling out of that parking spot and then you stop dead in the middle of the driveway or the alleyway of the dock space where there are other trucks trying to pull out as well? Why be inconsiderate and make other trucks wait for you to close your doors? Then on top of that, you old, like you said, you an old head, so y'all ain't running to the back of the 53-foot length trailer. Y'all are walking as slow as y'all can. Not a care in the world. It's the hurry up and wait game, like my boy ETA would say. But you guys are being considerate to the young heads that are running circles around y'all, that are dropping and hooking. Why are you making them wait because you're moving slow? I realize you got 40 years invested in the game, but how about you be considerate, just like you want the young heads to be considerate about y'all, right? Y'all stopping in the middle of the way and y'all stopping us from making our money, man. Uncomfortable conversations, let's talk about it. It's time to hold each and every single truck driver accountable. I don't care if you old, I don't care if you young. All of us should have the same rules going across the board, for real. Be considerate to one another, be respectful. Respect is earned, not given just because of the length of time you've been behind the truck or the wheel of a truck. I gotta keep it real. I don't give a damn if you've been in this truck 67 years. In my opinion, your old ass need to get the hell out the way and let a young driver pass you, since it's gonna take you 30 minutes to close your trailer doors. Since you wanna stop and do your paperwork in the middle of the aisle. Let's have an uncomfortable conversation and talk about it. Young heads do it too. I just had a young head do that to me at a gas station. He pulled into the gas station with a pub trailer, right? And his ass was out, on like still sticking out of the entrance. Now I was at a fuel aisle. So I honked my horn as soon as I pulled up and like pointed to the direction. I like pointed to the direction of like, hey bro, you blocking traffic. Do you know this man turned around and looked at me and then waved me off like that? Little did he know that we're both walking into the same gas station. What do you think I did? I walked up on bro and was like, bro, why you gotta be disrespectful, bro? I said, you need to be careful who you waving off and who you being disrespectful to, because the right driver will come up and pop your ass. He was very uncomfortable by the fact that I pressed him, and he wasn't by himself. He had a helper with him. Do you think the helper stepped in to de-escalate the situation? I think not. It's very rare that people are going to be combative back with me based off of the level of energy that I approached them with. I never start off with disrespect. But the fact that you just wave somebody off, like, you gotta see that man in the gas station, bro. Now, I thought I was just gonna be in and out. Come to find out, to make a long story short, I was able to get my chips and my snacks, get it through the line, check out, and walk back to my truck and pull off before he even got back to his truck and pulled off out of the place. Matter of fact, I had turned down the street before I even seen anybody from that truck even come back out. This is what I mean about being considerate to other drivers, man. Uncomfortable conversation. Tell me what you think. Am I out of line? Is my temper too bad? I know I'm working on it a little bit. I've been saying woo-saws and doing my little ear exercises and stuff, but sometimes it don't always work. Sometimes old heads and new heads is rude as fuck and need to be put in their place. If I see something, like my boy ETA say, I'm gonna say something. I don't care if it's good, bad, or ugly. I don't give a damn. That's just my 2 cents. Y'all keep the change. J Tuck out.